You can add pegs to elements such as artwork and cameras so that you can then animate the peg, and whatever is attached to said peg will also follow the properties of the peg itself. So you can add scale and motion and rotation, and the camera or the artwork will follow suit. Another reason you want to create pegs is so that you can also have a little bit more organization in your timeline. So if you have a character's body and you have all these parts, you can create a hierarchy so that everything is in a logical fashion. Now what we're going to do is attach blob here to a peg in one of two ways. As you see here, if I select blob in the timeline, I can click either this button here or this button. I'm going to click this button first. What this button does is it adds a peg to the timeline. And you can always tell whether or not your peg is actually a parent of something based on the relationship of the words. As you see, the B and the P are lined up, they're flush, which means nothing's really happening. When we have a parent-child relationship, the child is indented to the right of the peg itself. To make this happen, we can click the layer, such as blob here, and drag it right on top of the peg and let go. Now the word blob is indented to the right, which means it is attached to this peg. And if I collapse it with this blue arrow, we see that we've hidden that, but it's still there. It's just a child of peg itself. Now let's go ahead and undo that. This time I'll show you how to automatically create a relationship with this button. First of all, I'm going to make sure I'm on the blob layer once again, and this time I'll click this button. Now we've created an automatic relationship. It already indents this word and creates a blob peg named after the element that we had selected, which is very, very handy. Let me go ahead and show you that again. I'll go back to the original way. When you click this button, you only add a peg element. You can rename it if you so desire, but you have to do everything manually. So you drag that there, and you right-click on the peg, and you can rename the element, and you can call it whatever you like. But a faster way to work, of course, is to click this guy, and now you have the name automatically put there for you, blob peg, which is what the P stands for. So as you see there, it's very easy to attach a peg to an element. You can also attach a peg to a camera, which is very, very handy when you want to animate the camera. So you can do pans, you can do trucking, you can do anything by having the peg animated, and then whatever's attached to it will follow suit. Another thing to keep in mind is make sure your peg is following the same exposure in the timeline as whatever the element is. For example, let's say you have artwork that's going to extend 30 frames, but your peg is only 1 frame. Make sure you extend the exposure of the peg as well by right-clicking and then choosing exposure, extend exposure for that element as well. Make sure they're matched up so that when you're animating it, everything stays on the camera view.